The smallest changes in our daily habits can sometimes yield the most profound results for our well-being. There is a powerful link between the persistent, low-grade inflammation in our mouths and the broader health of our entire body, including how we manage blood sugar. Often, we reach for complex solutions when a simple, science-backed tool has been sitting in our spice rack all along. Today, we are going to explore one of the most potent spices in nature's apothecary, the humble clove. We'll uncover the science behind why dentists have valued its key compound for over a century to soothe gums and fight oral bacteria. We'll also look at the exciting new research suggesting how this same spice may offer gentle support for blood sugar stability. By the end of our time together, you will understand not just what cloves can do, but how they do it inside your body. I will give you simple, practical ways to incorporate them safely into your routine, from a soothing tea to the right amount to add to your meals. This is about empowering you with knowledge, not offering miracle cures, so you can make informed choices for your health. Hello, and welcome. I'm Dr. Daniel Bennett. My goal on this channel is to bring you clear, credible health information that you can use with confidence. We focus on the science behind how our bodies work and the small, consistent steps we can take to support them as we age. If you believe in taking charge of your health with straightforward, trustworthy guidance, I invite you to join our growing community. A simple click on the subscribe button means you'll be part of a conversation grounded in care and curiosity. We learn best when we learn together. Let's begin with an area that affects our comfort every single day, our oral health. Many of us have experienced the discomfort of sensitive gums, a fleeting toothache, or the worry of bad breath. These aren't just minor annoyances, they are signals from our body. A key reason for this discomfort is often inflammation and the presence of specific bacteria. This is where the unique power of cloves comes into play. For centuries, cloves have been a go-to folk remedy for dental pain, and modern science now tells us exactly why it works. The magic lies in a compound called eugenol, which makes up a large portion of the clove's essential oil. Think of eugenol as nature's own two-in-one dental helper. First, it's a natural analgesic, which is simply a substance that relieves pain. It works by temporarily blocking the nerve pathways that send pain signals to your brain. It's like a traffic controller gently diverting the pain signals off the main road, giving you a sense of relief. This is why, in an emergency, dabbing a tiny, heavily diluted amount of clove oil near an aching tooth was a traditional practice before you could get to a dentist. Second, eugenol is a potent antiseptic and anti-inflammatory agent. This means it actively fights the bacteria that can cause gum disease and bad breath, while also calming the body's inflammatory response. When your gums are red, swollen, and tender, that's inflammation at work. Eugenol helps to soothe this process, reducing the swelling and discomfort. So, how can you use this benefit safely at home for general gum health? It's important we do this gently. I do not recommend using pure clove oil directly, as it is incredibly potent and can irritate or even burn the soft tissues in your mouth. A much safer and still effective approach is a simple clove water rinse. Here's how you make it. Take 4 or 5 whole cloves and place them in a cup of warm, but not boiling, water. Let them steep for about 10 to 15 minutes, allowing the eugenol and other beneficial compounds to infuse into the water. Once it has cooled to a comfortable temperature, you can swish this water in your mouth for 30 seconds after brushing your teeth. This gentle rinse helps to reduce inflammation along the gum line and fight odor-causing bacteria without the harshness of alcohol-based mouthwashes. It's a wonderful, natural way to support your daily oral hygiene routine. But remember, this is for support and temporary relief, not a cure. If you have persistent tooth pain, bleeding gums, or severe discomfort, that is your body's signal to see a dentist. These home remedies are meant to complement professional care, never to replace it. The goal is to calm minor irritations and maintain a healthy oral environment between your dental visits. The tangible benefit you might notice is a calmer, less sensitive feeling in your gums and naturally fresher breath. This leads us to our next point, moving beyond just soothing pain to actively preventing the problems that cause it. The battle for good oral health is largely a battle against harmful bacteria and the sticky film they create, known as plaque. When plaque is allowed to build up on our teeth and along the gum line, it hardens into tartar and creates a breeding ground for bacteria that cause gingivitis, the earliest stage of gum disease. These bacteria can also produce volatile sulfur compounds, which are the primary cause of persistent bad breath or halitosis. This is where the antiseptic properties of cloves become truly valuable. The eugenol we just discussed is not just a general antiseptic. Studies have shown it is particularly effective against the specific strains of bacteria that are most damaging to our oral health. It works by disrupting the cell membrane of these bacteria. Imagine the bacteria is like a water balloon. Eugenol essentially pokes tiny, microscopic holes in its surface, causing it to break down. It's also effective against what scientists call biofilms. A biofilm is a community of bacteria living together in a protective, slimy matrix. That's exactly what plaque is. It's notoriously difficult to penetrate. The compounds in cloves have been shown to help break down this protective film, making it easier for brushing and flossing to remove the harmful bacteria underneath. So how can we leverage this on a daily basis? One simple, traditional method is to gently chew on a single whole clove for a few minutes after a meal. As you chew, the clove slowly releases its oils, delivering the antibacterial action directly where it's needed. The flavor can be quite strong, so this is something you may want to ease into. Don't overdo it. One clove is plenty. A perhaps more pleasant and sustainable habit is drinking clove tea. Preparing it is just as simple as the mouth rinse we discussed. Take about half a teaspoon of whole cloves. That's about 6 to 8 cloves, and place them in a mug. Pour hot water over them and let them steep for 5 to 10 minutes. You can strain the cloves out or leave them in. Drinking this tea allows the beneficial compounds to wash over your teeth and gums. It's a wonderful, warming beverage, especially in the cooler months, and it serves a dual purpose of hydration and oral hygiene support. It's a simple habit that, over time, can contribute to a healthier oral microbiome, the community of bacteria living in your mouth, favoring the good bacteria over the bad. Now is a good time to address a common myth. You may have heard that clove oil can heal a cavity. This is absolutely not true. While clove oil can provide powerful temporary relief from the pain of an exposed nerve in a decayed tooth, it cannot reverse the decay. A cavity is a physical hole in the tooth structure that must be cleaned out and filled by a dental professional. Relying on clove oil to cure, it will only allow the decay to worsen, potentially leading to a much more serious infection, an abscess, or even tooth loss. Please use cloves for comfort, but always see your dentist for a cure. The benefits you might notice from incorporating these simple clove habits are a mouth that feels cleaner throughout the day and, over a period of weeks, a noticeable reduction in morning breath. It's a sign that you are successfully managing the bacterial load in your mouth. Now, let's transition from oral health to another area of major importance as we get older, maintaining stable blood sugar levels. For many, this is a daily challenge. You might be familiar with the feeling of an energy spike followed by a crash after a meal, or the constant effort to keep your blood glucose numbers within a healthy range. This is where some of the most exciting, though still emerging, research on cloves is focused. Several studies suggest that compounds within cloves may play a supportive role in how our bodies manage sugar. The primary mechanism seems to involve improving insulin sensitivity. Let's break that down simply. Think of insulin as a key. When you eat carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose, a type of sugar that enters your bloodstream. Insulin's job is to unlock the doors to your body's cells, letting that glucose inside to be used for energy. Insulin sensitivity refers to how well your cells respond to that key. If your cells are very sensitive, it takes just a little bit of insulin to open the door. If your cells are resistant, what we call insulin resistance, the key doesn't work as well. The pancreas has to produce more and more insulin to try to force the doors open, and even then, sugar can get left behind in the bloodstream, leading to high blood sugar levels. A compound in cloves called nigericin has been studied for its potential to improve this process. Research suggests it may help the cells become more receptive to insulin's key. It appears to improve the body's ability to take up glucose from the blood and also supports the function of the cells in the pancreas that produce insulin. Furthermore, cloves are phenomenally rich in antioxidants, particularly polyphenol. You've likely heard about antioxidants before. In simple terms, they are your body's cellular protectors. They neutralize unstable molecules called free radicals that cause damage, a process known as oxidative stress. Think of it like preventing rust inside your body. High levels of oxidative stress are known to worsen insulin resistance, so the powerful antioxidant capacity of cloves provides another layer of support. So, how can you incorporate cloves to support your metabolic health? The key here is consistency and using small, culinary amounts. A safe and effective dose to aim for is about 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon of ground cloves per day. If you're finding this information on how our bodies work helpful, a quick tap on the subscribe button ensures you won't miss our future deep dives. There are many easy ways to get this small amount in. You can sprinkle ground cloves into your morning oatmeal or yogurt. They pair beautifully with cinnamon. You could also add a pinch to a smoothie or even your coffee. In savory cooking, cloves add a wonderful warmth to stews, soups, chili, and roasted vegetables, especially sweet potatoes or squash. A great idea is to make your own blood sugar-friendly spice blend. In a small jar, combine 2 tablespoons of Ceylon cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground cloves, and 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Mix them well, and you have a ready-made blend to sprinkle on your food. This combination is not only delicious, but also combines spices that are all being studied for their potential metabolic benefits. Now, this next point is critically important. Cloves and other spices can be a helpful part of a healthy lifestyle, but they are not a substitute for medical treatment. If you have prediabetes or diabetes, you must not stop or change any prescribed medication without speaking to your doctor. Cloves are a supportive tool, not a replacement for your care plan. It's also wise to let your doctor know you're adding them to your diet, as they may have a mild effect on your blood sugar, and your healthcare team should have the full picture. The goal is gentle, dietary support. Moving on from blood sugar, let's touch on another benefit that stems from the same active compounds in cloves: digestive wellness. Many people experience occasional bloating, gas, or a feeling of indigestion after a meal. This can happen when our digestive system is a bit sluggish. Cloves have traditionally been used as a carminative, which is a substance that helps prevent the formation of gas in the gastrointestinal tract and facilitates its expulsion. The compounds in cloves appear to work by stimulating the secretion of digestive enzymes. These enzymes are the biological workers that break down the food we eat into smaller, absorbable nutrients. More efficient enzyme activity means food is broken down more effectively, reducing the chances of it fermenting in the gut and producing gas. Cloves also seem to gently increase gut motility, which is the coordinated muscular contraction that moves food through your digestive system. Think of it as helping to keep things moving along at a steady, comfortable pace, which can prevent that feeling of food just sitting heavily in your stomach. The most pleasant way to harness this benefit is with that same cup of clove tea we discussed earlier. Enjoying a warm cup after a larger meal can be incredibly soothing. For an even more powerful digestive duo, you can add a thin slice of fresh ginger to your clove tea as it steeps. Ginger is another well-known digestive aid, and the two flavors complement each other beautifully. You can also incorporate whole cloves into your cooking for this purpose. Tossing 2 or 3 whole cloves into the pot when you're making rice, quinoa, bone broth, or a pot of beans infuses the food with their gentle digestive properties. Just be sure to remove them before serving, as biting into a whole clove can be an overwhelmingly intense experience. A quick safety note is in order here. While cloves are helpful for many, for individuals with very sensitive stomachs or conditions like GERD, spices can sometimes be an irritant. If you're new to using cloves, start with a very small amount, perhaps just 1 or 2 cloves in your tea, and see how your body feels. The goal is comfort, not creating new problems. Finally, let's put all this information together into a clear, practical guide on how to choose, store, and use cloves safely and effectively. Navigating the spice aisle and knowing how much is too much can be confusing. When you're buying cloves, I strongly recommend purchasing them whole whenever possible. Whole cloves retain their volatile oils and, therefore, their potency and flavor for much longer. Ground cloves are convenient, but they lose their beneficial compounds much more quickly once exposed to air. A good way to test the quality of whole cloves is to press one with your fingernail. A fresh, high-quality clove will release a tiny bead of fragrant oil. Store your cloves, whether whole or ground, in a small, airtight glass jar in a cool, dark cupboard away from the heat of the stove. This will protect them from light, heat, and air, preserving their medicinal properties for as long as possible. Whole cloves can stay potent for a year or more, while ground cloves should ideally be used within 6 months. Now, let's talk about the most important safety rule, the difference between using the clove spice and clove oil. The ground or whole clove you use in your kitchen is safe and gentle. Clove essential oil, on the other hand, is an extremely concentrated extract. Ingesting clove oil can be dangerous and, in high doses, can be toxic to the liver. It should never be taken internally unless under the strict supervision of a qualified healthcare professional. For topical use on gums, it must be heavily diluted with a carrier oil like coconut or olive oil. We're talking 1 drop of clove oil to at least a teaspoon of carrier oil, and used only for a very short period in an emergency. Honestly, for home use, it's best and safest to stick with the whole spice. So, to recap the safe and effective methods we've discussed. 1. A gentle mouth rinse made by steeping whole cloves in warm water. 2. A soothing cup of tea made with half a teaspoon of whole cloves. 3. Adding 1/4 to a half teaspoon of ground cloves to your daily meals. 4. Gently chewing a single whole clove after a meal. These methods deliver the benefits without the risks of concentrated oils. They are simple, affordable, and easy to weave into your existing daily routines. The journey to better health is not about grand, dramatic gestures. It is about the small, consistent, and thoughtful choices we make every single day. Seeing a spice as not just a source of flavor, but as a partner in your well-being, is one of those powerful shifts in perspective. Adding a pinch of cloves to your tea or your oatmeal may seem like a tiny action, but it's a meaningful step in honoring and supporting your body. You are capable of making choices that nourish you, and every small step you take is a victory worth celebrating. I would love to hear from you. Do you have a favorite recipe or a special way you use cloves in your own kitchen? Please share your thoughts and ideas in the comments section below. Your experience might be the very thing that inspires someone else in our community to try something new. If you found this guide helpful and appreciate a calm, science-backed approach to health, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Each time you do, you help us reach and support more people who are looking for reliable guidance on their wellness journey. Thank you so much for your time and attention today.